let's talk ease of payment transactions. The ease of payment transactions across Africa is at the heart of the pursuit of economic transformation and the new intra-regional trade that the continent is pursuing. They got to build that up. This was according to Bumi Bajomo, who is the Chief Operating Officer in charge of corporate and investment banking at EcoBank Transnational Incorporated in Lomé, Togo. Speaking in an interview today in Abidjan at the 2022 Africa CEO Forum, Dr. Bajomo says banks play a key role in achieving the transformation of the continent and points to areas of improvement such as infrastructure. Let's take a listen.
I would say the highlight for me had been the opening session and the microeconomic session, which had a lot of the dignitaries in attendance. From the opening session, I like that the president of Ghana, Dr. Nana Akufo, and the President Ouattara of Cote d'Ivoire, along with Nigeria's vice president, they were present when Africa was being discussed. And if you remember, one of the highlights of that session was the pronouncement by the government of Ghana, saying that if you look at the African countries and you compare them with the rest of Europe, the bane of Africa had been lack of intracontinental trade amongst African countries. Compared with the rest of Europe, his analogy was that the poorer you are, the less trade you do with your brothers. And that is very true, because if you look at the African countries, North America trade amongst itself up to 30% of their total trade wallet. Asia has 58%, and if you look at Europe, it's close to 70%. It's actually 68% of their total trade wallet that is traded amongst the European countries, and that's where they are prospering, because they are shouldering the burden of each other. They do not have to bear inter-regional costs like we do in Africa. So I like that the governments have realized that, but I'm just hoping that from the discussion at this conference, nations like Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa will now look inwards rather than being price takers for all of their primary commodities. They will look inwards, trade more with each other, harness the benefit of the after that everybody is propagating, so that nations of this continent can grow in a multiplied way, so that nations can grow and together we can all prosper together. And if you look at one of the discussion as well, in terms of commodity trade amongst ourselves, if you mirror that to what is happening because of the Russia-Ukrainian crisis, Africa hardly deals trade commodity amongst itself. I think commodity trade amongst African countries is about 33%. Manufacturing is about 42%, and the rest is other commodity. Whereas for the developed nations, they actually trade 70% of commodity amongst themselves.
So you work for EcoBank Transnational. So when you talk about connectivity and intra-Africa trade, what lessons, what are you seeing from what EcoBank Transnational is doing and what is possible in terms of economic intra-Africa trade?
Oh, so we have been, as EcoBank Transnational, we have been at the vanguard of getting Africa to integrate, to leverage what we have in continents, and to build on that with a view to us getting more prosperous. So whereas because of all of the issues that are currently happening in Africa, balance of payment problem, because of COVID, and a lot of governments have actually depleted their reserves, and they have FX volatility issues across African countries. A lot of the development financial institutions, a lot of the multilateral agencies have sort of pulled back. Who will want to go to a country like, say, Malawi, with all of their macroeconomic issues laden with climatic issues? But EcoBank is there, partnering with those governments where the advanced economies have abandoned us, where China is not able to fill the gap. My bank, EcoBank Transnational, is filling those gaps, partnering with African countries, building infrastructure, financing infrastructural development, financing trade, building on the payment platform across 33 countries to leapfrog Africa, so that, as against incurring costs in terms of a payment system, we're removing, in conjunction with, say, the likes of Afrexim, we're trying to recoup about $5 billion of annual deficit from using overseas correspondent bank, from the PAPs this platform in order for us to at least cut the lag in trade, cut the slack, reduce transaction cost, so that we can compete effectively with the rest of the world. So those are some of the things we're doing right now.
At the Africa CEO Forum here, it's the second day, and you're talking about deals. This is also about networking, looking for new opportunities and all of that. Are there new deals that are on the table for you folks at EcoBank International? What are you working on? Are you meeting new partners? Are you looking, warming up old relationships in terms of businesses and colleagues here at the forum?
Absolutely. So some of those deals I won't be able to tell you because of client confidentiality, organizational confidentiality, until we have the mandate that we can actually share some of those information. But in terms of meeting who is who, we have a number of our clients across 33 countries in Africa, across our regional operations in Europe, Paris, China, and even in the United Kingdom. As you know, we have a full-fledged international banking operation out of Paris. So we have a lot of clients. I mean, if you look at this exhibition hall, a lot of our countries are there. Who is here that does not bank with EcoBank? So we've done a lot of, this morning, I was honored to meet the vice chairman of MasterCard, along with the rest. So many CEOs, organizations, presidents of nations. Yesterday we were with President Ouattara listening to who is who, right? What is important is not just to meet these people, is to leapfrog it and take it forward. So beyond the CEO conference, I must doff my hat for the originator of this conference. It's wonderful for you to bet a dream and see it become so big. The conference had close to 2,000 people in attendance. What we are now going to do, we've signed some significant deals in payments on how to mobilize the payment platform to actually leapfrog the agricultural economies in Africa. You will soon be hearing a lot of announcements in that respect. So we're, as against the African farmers being at the behest of the wholesalers or the aggregators, countries are now taking charge of this value chain from the primary dealers onto the enhanced platform, turning them into tertiary products in order for us to maximize the benefit of our agrarian nation and all of the resources that we have. And then in terms of mining commodities, the current situation in the world is turning Africa. Before now, 10 years ago, Africa was not looked at as a theater of enhanced competition by the developed nation. But because of what has happened in Ukraine, because of what has happened in terms of conflict, spiraling inflation, shortages of chips and so, you now have a lot of advanced economy coming to Africa. And so for governments of Africa that are amenable to investment, that have created the enabling platform, that have ease of business, that have infrastructure that can propel their trade. So I operate out of Lome. It's a small country, but you see a lot of infrastructural development. Things actually work. So for those kind of countries where things work, you see a lot of investors, both private and governmental, coming into there looking for resources. So before now, who was talking about Democratic Republic of Congo? Now, because of chip shortages, the advancement towards renewable energy, the aircraft sourcing, you now have DRC suddenly becoming the bride of Africa. In fact, it's being propelled as the new Saudi Arabia. Why? Because number one, they are the world's largest supplier of cobalt. Cobalt is a major material in petrochemicals, in manufacturing of aircraft, in renewable energy. They have also copper. They are the fourth largest producer of copper. So that is the new oil based on Goldman Sachs estimate. And you have so many other countries like that. Nigeria is not left behind. It's just for us to now put a framework around mining operations in Nigeria, such that it's not only about illicit mining, it's a structured mining so that we can maximize benefits. Everybody is looking for partnership in oil and gas, in mineral resources, in everything that Africa has to offer. We're blessed. We have abundance of resources. If we lose this momentum, if we lose this moment, I don't know when we will have this kind of opportunities again.